Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. So, I was watching a very interesting video a couple days ago. I saw this YouTuber and he was, going places here in the US asking folks if they're proud to be an American and what are the things that they love about this country. Some of the answers kind of surprised me, and especially they're coming from people who were born raised here and people that are kind of young, early to mid 20s. From a perspective of someone who's not from here, it's very different from mine. I'm an immigrant born and raised in the Philippines, so I thought I'll go ahead, share my perspective. And I don't agree with some of the people's perspective, but that's okay. We can all agree to disagree, right? So if you were to ask me if I'm proud to be an American, I would say very solid yes. I'm proud to be an American, and there's so many reasons why I love this country. First of all, my husband is an American. He was born and raised here. We live here. I love this man. I married him. We have a family together. He loved this country, and this has become my country now too. So yes, I love this country, and for many major reasons. First would be the freedom. America is the land of the free, and some people will think, well, that's cliche, but it is true. It really is a very free country. You are free to do whatever you want. You can pursue things that makes you happy. You have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to express yourself. Those are very important things, especially for people who don't have those things. A lot of countries are not as free as America. I'm very lucky that I'm from the Philippines. We have those freedoms, but to be very honest, there is a lot of, I'd say, it's not quite as straightforward. It's not as easy to practice those freedom because we're tied when it comes to traditions and cultural values, even family obligations. And I'm talking about, freedom to pursue happiness. It's a little bit complicated there. For some families, not for everybody, but I can talk about that in a separate video. But yes, when it comes to freedom, there's really no place like America. It is a very free country, and I think everybody should appreciate that. And it's not free, to be honest, because, it is the land of the free and the home of the brave, right? You got a lot of people who serve the country, who's risking their lives to maintain that freedom. And I think people should be very appreciative of that. And so, thank you to all of our veterans out there. So, another thing that I love about this country is the diversity. You got so many different people coming from different countries, background, and of course, with them, they bring, different cultures and traditions. And because it is so different, no matter how different you are, you won't really feel alone. Like, some people are more different than you, and you think, oh, I'm gonna, stand out. Really, no, it's not. You're not really gonna stand out. You're gonna belong because everybody else is different as you are. I don't know if that makes sense, but let me give you a little bit of a better explanation. If you move to a country that's more, what's the word, unison? Is that a word? Unison? Like, for example, if you decide to move to China, where most people have, almost everybody has Chinese ancestry there. If you're different from them, you're really going to stand out and you might feel lonely. Here in America, there's no such thing because everybody's here. You got French, you got people with German ancestry. In fact, my husband has some German ancestry on him. So, I mean, everybody's here. You're not as different as you think, and even if you're different, there's so many people like you that are here. Like, Filipino community is so big here, especially in places like Seattle, California. If you're Hispanic, there's so many of them here. Florida, we have so many Cubans out here. So yes, no matter how different you are, you're not that different, because everybody else is different like you. And when it comes to diversity, it's not just the people. The United States has how many states? 50, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a very diverse landscape. You can choose and pick where you want to live. Every state is a little bit different. If you like the mountains, you can go to North Carolina. If you like the beach, come to Florida. Hawaii too is available. So there's so many options, of where you want to live. You have so many choices. You don't have to really move to a different country. And then with that, you also have diverse climates. So again, choices. It's the land of choices, right? You like the cold weather, go to Alaska. You like subtropical, come to Florida. So it is a very diverse country, and with that, you got so many options and choices to make. All right, let's talk about another thing that I love about this country, the opportunity. Most Americans born and raised here, I'm saying most, but probably not that many. I think most people know this, but You know, in America, you have so many opportunities, and people don't realize how important it is and how much opportunity they have here because they probably have never been anywhere else. You know, in that video that I was talking about, a lot of people were complaining about, oh, it's so inequality and unfairness. It's so hard here. Well, yes, it's true. There's a lot of inequality, but you don't really know what unfairness, is that the word, and being unfairness and inequality is, unless you've lived in a country where it is so much more prevalent. Is that a word? Yes. And yes, in other countries, it is so much harder to get any type of opportunity. But here, it's plenty. As long as you work hard, and especially if you're skilled, you can really make something out of yourself. You can be successful here. In other countries, you can work as hard as you can and be stuck still to where, where you are. You not moving anywhere. But here, there's plenty of opportunities as long as you're willing to put the hard work. So let's talk about convenience. It is so convenient to live in America. Most people probably that never been anywhere else might complain, like, again, like, oh yeah, it's there's this difficulty, this. A lot of people here are very impatient because they've never been anywhere else. It's the most convenient country to live in. Your basic infrastructure here is so great, like your highways, your bridges, your electricity. There's groceries anywhere. Even rural towns have groceries. I live in a rural town and we have like two grocery stores. In the Philippines, if you say rural, you really have to like travel to go to the nearest, like, grocery or even hospital. Here, it's here. Everything is here. We have everything we need and things that we want. Everything is in America. It's so convenient to live here, and people don't appreciate it sometimes, I think. I think it's probably good. My advice is like, if you really want to experience what life is for other people, especially in other countries, visit that country, like a third world country, and actually live like the locals. And after like a week of that, come back here, and you'll really appreciate how Americans live, like how easy life is in America. I can't talk anymore. Okay, so those are the things that I like about America: the freedom, the diversity. Of course, you got the opportunity, which a lot of people risk their lives for. And then you also have, the convenience. And a couple of things that I will mention that's probably not important for some people, but I think it's quite important, is, you know what, my lights is kind of like on and off because I'm filming late at night. I'm sorry, you guys. So yes, one of the things that I want to mention, not one, but maybe two or three that I want to add, maybe not as important to other people, is the sports here. I mean, you got so many options. You guys have the biggest sporting events here in the US. Baseball, you got MLB, the biggest in the world. Basketball, NBA, again, the biggest in the world. Any athlete who wants to be really to become big, like, to become successful, they all want to come here to America because not only is big, of course, it is very lucrative, and the pay is so different, right? So yeah, when it comes to sports, there's so many options here. I love MLB, and of course, the playoffs is coming. So I mean, you have everything here. Entertainment. Let's talk about that. You've got some of the best entertainments here. I mean, you got, of course, the Hollywood is there if you like movies and stuff. But for artists and even fashion industry, I mean, sports, it's all here. It's all here in America. Okay, let's talk about the holidays. You guys really celebrate the holidays like no other. You know that one of my favorites and probably one of the best holidays that I like about and like I like here in America is Thanksgiving. It's time of the year where you can thank God for all the blessings. Of course, you have to thank God every day. That's more important than anything. But also, you can, on that day, you can share meals with family and friends, enjoy the day. And then the next day, you got the biggest shopping of the year, which is Black Friday. I think that's so exciting. That's a big, big day for a lot of Americans. And here you can afford to enjoy those things because you have opportunities. If you have a job, you can shop, right? So in a lot of countries, it's hard to do those things. It's hard to enjoy life a little bit more because life is hard. That's just the reality of life. I think Americans sometimes kind of get lost in all of this, so much entertainment maybe and so much stuff. You forget what's really important. But yeah, for people that, come from not much stuff like me, I get overwhelmed, and I'm like so excited about it because a lot of these things I didn't have growing up. So yes, I think it's good to experience things, um, especially if you're born and raised here. If you really want to experience how it's like to for other people and how they live, go to their country, specifically a third world country, live there with the locals and see, and real you will realize how lucky you are that you are, you live here in America. And the last thing, maybe I should have included this in the landscape, is the open spaces. I love that about here, especially if you live in the rural America, like they call the country. You guys have the biggest like space here, and people can actually, as long as you can afford it, of course, people can own land here. Like, some countries don't have that. Here, a lot of people have at least an acre, 5 acres, even 20 acres. That's pretty amazing, right? And with the open spaces, you also got privacy. There's a lot of privacy here. It's amazing. I like it about America. Okay, those are the things that I like about America, I'm sure, and I hope you can find more things that you like, especially if you're an American, you're born and raised here. I think it's good to be reminded that we are so lucky that we're here, and a lot of people will do and will even risk their lives to come here. So we should be thankful. Thank God for everything that we have here. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have, please do like, subscribe if you want. And if you have any comment, please do add it in the comment section below. See you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.